What makes the lighting so different between photo and video? Once you slide over video, it's dark. If I face that way, the glare is ridiculous. So I have to face this way, which is rather uncomfortable, but reduces the glare kind of. Did you see my latest short? 1,400 views. I think I made like $2 on that one. This is hot, so I'm slurping. Ow. Yeah, $2, man. Maybe it'll go viral. Do I care? I don't know. So, because I'm not over here, and my table where I put my coffee and cookies is over here, I'm placing my cookie bowl and my coffee on the little wood chair that is holding this phone camera. So this is my new camera. You should see my old one. It's just like, looks like a jigsaw puzzle on the screen. And it was affecting the sound. Truly. I hope the sound is good on this. I can't guarantee anything. I thought it was a little muffly sounding. I'm going to dip my cookie this time. Resentment. It doesn't pay. When Dennis first got sick, first of all, I resented God, number one. And we were living in this really nice neighborhood. Michael and Maggie had just gotten through a hurricane that destroyed the place they were living in, a cute little place on a little canal. It was like a what do you call the little, it was a little lagoon. It was beautiful there, beautiful, you know. They had a chicken at that time. They had rescued it off a highway, long story. I mean, the chicken was literally in the middle of the highway. They were heading to a ball game. They rescued this chicken. Brought it home and made it a pet. Must have fallen off of a chicken truck. So, my kids are strange, you know? I'm not getting enough sleep either. But we're supposed to talk about resentments. We'll talk about sleep later. So Dennis is really sick and my life's over. My house is up for sale. I had to give up one of my cars to the bank. And needless to say, I am pissed at that time. I'm driving through the neighborhood in this house that the kids were staying at. I came up so that I could see my grandson being born. And I took Dennis with me. I said, I'm not missing this. I said, I know you're sick and I'm really sorry, but you're coming with me. And he did. What choice did he have? I was like, you know, taking care of his every need. He needed me. So at that time, he was still walking. He didn't have a lot of energy, but he was walking. I didn't need the wheelchair or anything. Oh, bless his heart. I don't know how we managed. I can't even remember, but so we're driving through this neighborhood. Of course, we're living in, you know, Mike and Maggie has like unfortunately, the worst house in the neighborhood because it had been neglected and they were able to take over payments and they were going to buy it, but that all fell through. It's a long story. But I'm going through this neighborhood and I'm like, this was supposed to be my retirement story. Dennis and I were going to do 6 months in Florida and 6 months in New Hampshire or Maine, and that was going to be our life till we died. or got too old to be able to, you know. And I was full of resentment. Why can they have this? And I can't. We worked 30 years, we worked our butts off. And how's it going to end? I mean, my whole life was up in the air. It was terrifying. It was the most terrifying thing I'd ever been through in my life, honestly. I'd had some bad times, but this was my whole world being rocked and shaken. My future, gone with the wind. And yeah, you get envious. You do. And I'd always say to God, because even when I wasn't talking to him, I was talking to him. I'd say, I know you're not there. However, it was just hard to watch. To watch my whole life unravel. Everything we worked for. Just going. And you know what's really sad? There are people out there in YouTube land that are just waiting to watch you fall. They have to be right. I told you so. Yes, mother. Hello? Get a life. What is wrong with people? Just waiting to see you fall. These cookies are starting to grow on me. I'm sure it's the sugar, but I'm getting pecan sandies on the next round, I'm telling you. I'm like 100 calories a cookie, but then I end up eating 3 of these anyway, which is 150. But I do like to crunch, you know? It's getting hot in here. Must be the coffee. Oh, it is steamy, guys. Steamy. It might be like 86 in the day, but it feels like 200. It's that heaviness that you walk outside and you're like, all summer long. I dread it, but I'm thinking to myself, do I have to babysit? Can't I just hide in here and have Instacart bring me food and water? God bless you if you drive Instacart or that other one. Thank you. Thank you for being there. So, yeah, resentments. And, you know, it was really hard for me to see my peers prospering and moving forward while I was being sucked backwards into a vortex. I was being sucked away from prosperity, from choices. And like I was saying, because I keep getting off track, you know me, I don't use a script, but there are people out there just hoping you'll fail. There's one in particular who I just hide user. That's the only way to get rid of them. She was the first one when the offer for this apartment first came up. I made a video. I wanted to know what y'all thought. I was unsure because here I had prepared to live in a van that wasn't even working. And this offer for this apartment comes up, right? So I was scared because so this woman starts coming on and telling me the horror stories of her HUD housing and how her and her husband regret having moved there and now they can't get out, they have no money. She's telling me don't take it. This is going to happen and that is going to happen, and you'll never have any privacy, and the neighbors are going to bother you. And, I was already worried about these things. I didn't need somebody else verifying, second witnessing it. Now, the same person is pissed that I got this place and I like it. It's beautiful. It is well maintained. You get a problem, you fill out a little form. They're right up front. You fill out a form and they call you, set an appointment, and they come and they fix it. Of course, they can't fix the situation with the AC unit because they had to put it in such a way that when I need to clean out the filters, maintenance has to come in and take the whole thing apart. That disturbs me. I mean, I'm thinking, what if I'm here for the rest of my life? I have to put up with that every month, but what the hell? I mean, some things you just gotta take with a grain of salt. He's gonna have to come in here. I got a situation with the bathtub drain. I don't know what the heck is the matter with it suddenly, but ever since Bonnie came to stay, I don't know if maybe she has a lot of hair, okay? Not like me. She's just like, ugh. And the drain won't drain. I have to keep pouring down Drano and then hot water and try to, it ain't happening. And after I take a shower, I notice the drain holes are really, really low and they look all clogged up and stuff. I'm like, but I'm using hot water. Why isn't it keeping everything? I don't know. But I'm going to have somebody come in. And I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk about resentment, but I keep sidetracking. Oh, so this viewer, not even a sub, just a viewer. Now they're pissed. I live in subsidized housing. And they can view this. They just can't comment anymore, okay? You can't stop people from watching your videos. I did ask one to unsubscribe, and they did, and I appreciate it. They could still comment, actually, because I did not, I don't think it says hide user. You can report them, you can hide them, you can't block them. I mean, you can't completely block them out. You can't. So anyway, like every asinine accusation you could think of. What was the latest? Just all kinds of crap, like I don't know the rules or I'm not abiding by the rules. So you can get one of these apartments, like she was telling me, one of the residents' family passed. And she got a big inheritance, okay? It was big. But because it isn't a regular income, they let her stay. I don't know if her rent went up. I don't think so, because at that time she wasn't getting any regular income. It would have to be a substantial amount of income, Anyway. And it has to be, constant. Like if someone gives you a gift, as long as they're not giving you that gift monthly or weekly, you're fine. But, if it starts to become like a habitual thing, then you have to report it. I get that. And then, another one, talk about resentments. Ranting about, and you can comment, you know who you are, but don't you be putting down another one of my subs, okay? You're gone. I don't care who they are or who you think they are. You're not doing that on my channel. So she's ranting and raving. about how she had to help this woman and this woman who was homeless and blah, blah, blah. But this woman, has to live in without anything. And how many years they had to wait to get this subsidized apartment. I don't know where that person lived. They could be in Los Angeles for all I know, because, I never expected this. No. Here I was, number 48 on the list, and I was starting to feel really desperate. I actually went over to this other one I never wanted to live in, because it's just like this freaking mammoth place, and it just looks like a prison, okay? This other one, and I went over there, and it was supposed to be, it was run by a church, and it was supposed to be they helped you with the rent, but the rent was still $688. I'm like, I make $960. Well, most people get help from their family to pay for it. I said, I'm not doing that. I said, just destroy my application. The more I got closer to living into a van, the more depressed I felt. I put on a brave face, because what choice did I have? It was either to my poor little grandson take up half his room. He's growing up. He's growing up. So sweet to watch. And, it was really stressful. And you were always complaining about your family. I don't complain about my family. My kids are so good to me, and I think that's another, cause for contention. I know that a lot of parents in my generation have children that have nothing to do with them. And I have kids who dote on me. I do. You think I don't know how fortunate I am? I always say to them, in spite of myself, you guys came out fantastic. Bless their hearts. I was not an easy person to live with. I know my faults. Of course I know. But I apologized. I didn't defend the things I did. I said, you're right, unless it's something where I think, okay, now you're pushing the envelope and I'm going to have to defend myself here. But whenever, you just kind of grit your teeth and say, yup, you're right. I'm sorry. If I could turn back time and change this, I would. And that because of that, there's no resentment. You apologize with sincerity. You care about that person and their outcomes. And there should not be resentment. And my kids, constantly texts, phone calls. I see Mike and Maggie almost every single day, plus Denny and Finn, because they're all in the same house, So, yeah. So, having resentment because I didn't get to struggle a little extra for you, I didn't get to end up in dire straits for you, that your predictions of my ending up broke and familyless and vanless and homeless. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to fulfill that for your sick needs, okay? And I do give all credit to the God of my understanding, my Creator, the one who always had my back. It always looked like God wasn't there in my life. Where are you? I'd ask him, where are you? He was right there, watching and waiting when it was the right time for me to have what I needed to have. But you know, here's the thing. The other thing that pissed me off was
They had to be on a waiting list for 2 years.
yeah, well, so was I. But see, I thought ahead. The moment he got sick, I started thinking, because that's how I operate. All right, I'd say, in 1 year from today, if this, and that has occurred, and he's not gotten well, I need to do this, and that. And I had everything written down in lists in a book, because I'm a list maker. And so I knew what I had to do. And then I'd do it. So in 2021, it was about May, because I still have the paperwork today. It was May 2021. I applied to this apartment. It was in a perfect location. It wasn't far from where we lived, so I was close to everything I needed and that I was used to, and the kids were just down the road. They were actually closer to this one at that time, but then they moved and were still about the same amount of distance. Maybe even a little closer, I'm not sure. So I'd have to, GPS, and I'm not doing that. So I applied here. It was the only one I applied to. There was one other one, that one I didn't want to live in, that I applied to. So, and I tried to apply to several more, but the applications would come, and then I'd call the office and I'd say, I can't, and they'd say, do this, and I'd do that, and it still was the same outcome, and I couldn't get applications. And on 4 others that I was trying, but they were really far away, and I really didn't want to be that far from the kids. And so I started I start the motion. I think I'm intelligent enough to realize, wow, the S is going to hit the fan soon, and I better start planning now. Okay? So for any of you widows out there, new widows, I know it's a hard time. You're heartbroken. Just when you have a minute, sit down and think. What's my income? What's my expenses? Where will I be a year from now? What should I plan for? What could I do to have a better life? And so my plan was sell the car, sell the trailer. And I did both. And then I had money. And then, unfortunately, the price of houses was shooting through the roof. I couldn't buy anything. And my credit was shot to hell. It was. But it's been growing, and yeah, I'm using it. Of course I'm using it, because, you see, that's how the system works. You can get a loan, and you can spend all that money till the cows come home, and that doesn't count, because you have to pay it back and with interest, so you're really losing. It's like a bad investment. Tell me about it. So you can get around everything. Like if I only had just under $2,000 or $2,000 to my name, I could get food stamps and Medicaid. In addition to, I just started on Medicare, that they force you to have. You have to have Medicare, and I don't mind. So then there's something called QMB and SMB. And it's beautiful because if your income is low, but you have up to so much assets, and I think it's $9,900, which I'm not there yet. Not there yet. You can have that amount of money, and the state will kick in your, what do you call it? Copay, your, that fee for Medicare. I don't know. So anyway, I qualified for that. And then, because, I got I don't know how much I have in the van. I'm assuming, I lost count at 10,000. It was like, I'm not counting this anymore. I'm just going to let her fly. So, there was that. And then I lent money out, and, it goes. So anyway, so resentment and wanting to punish me. Are you sure you aren't my husband's youngest sister? Because I gotta tell you, you two definitely have a lot in common. I should give you her phone number. You can call up and complain about me and make accusations. You'll love her. So anyhow, yeah, for viewers out there, and if you're watching this, because I know there's a lot of you that have no balls, pardon my expression, and you'll never come forward or be forthwith, but you'll like a mean comment, right? You'll like it. But you're not going to comment because you have no nads, right? So anyway, so I promised in my short that I would address this issue, and here it is. I'm so sorry I didn't fulfill your prophecies, yeah, but God had other plans. And you know, I remember what Jesus said. He said, watch out how you treat my little ones. And I think he's talking about the orphans, the widows, and the poor. He says, because it would be better for you to have a millstone tied around your neck and you be thrown into the river than for what God has in store for you. I'd think about that one. I'd be a little nervous about wanting to see other people fail. And if you don't believe in God, he still knows you're there. Yep, I know he's there. I didn't think he was there. I went through years of hell. I came out the other end, and I'm damn proud of it. And yeah, if I feel like going shopping for Foo pillow, you'll be happy, trolls, that the pillows weren't in. They're very popular, and they go out the door so fast. So I just wanted to, budget it. I'm not going to buy it this week. I know I'll have $50 in a following week, because what I do is I pay my bills. I look to see what's left over. How much food do I need? And I don't go to food pantries. I don't think it's fair because I do very well now. Very well. $960 is my income. $232 is what I pay for rent. $60 for electric and $25 for cable. Do the math. I have money left over. I'm not going to apply for food stamps. I can afford to eat. I'm just very frugal about it, so that I have money to go shopping. I'd rather, I could save on cookies. So a box of cookies lasts me 2 weeks, okay? So for $1.96, I get 2 weeks of morning pleasure. So, hello. Well, guys, that is my coffee side chat. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, except for the mean and nasty ones. I don't like you at all. Okay, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm going to go now and enjoy the plushness, the beauty, the quiet of my little Florida home. Bye.